Peter Charles here of Hooked Fly Fly Fishing. And today we're going to do a crappie fly called the Crappie Basher, and it's done by George Will from British Columbia. It's a relatively small streamer with an unusual color scheme. And in the book, it writes in the recipe that it's yellow and white in the wing, but the picture shows yellow and chartreuse, and I tend to like chartreuse on my flies. So we're going to be doing it with chartreuse and not with yellow. So I'm going to start with the materials here. It recommends a Mustad 9672 in a size 10. Now I only have it in a size 8, so I'm substituting this Camazan hook, which is basically the same kind of hook. And we're going to be using our usual Vivas black thread. The body is Uni Mylar in a size 12. And our wings are going to be made up of box in chartreuse and white. So let's get started. Now, when you're doing a mylar or a tinsel body, you want it to be relatively smooth. I mean, you can do what I've done in other videos where we deliberately make the body rough so the mylar crinkles and produces, facets that give off sparkles in the water. But we're not doing it this time. We're going to create a smooth body, and so we're going to make the wraps rather neat. We're trying to get them as neat as possible. So we got a relatively smooth body there. We'll just put a half hitch in for winding on the tinsel. Make your first fold over. I just like to use hackle pliers when holding onto slippery materials. And pull nice and tight. Touching turns, you don't want to see any black showing. Bring it right to the end. There we go. And the other benefit of using hackle pliers is you can let go of it and it doesn't spring on you. Okay, we'll just finish that off. This is a simple fly, so I'm going to get gung-ho with it. Now, when we're using this fox, we want to use very little. This is a size 10 streamer. You don't want to bulk it right up, so we're just going to use a little bit here. I'm going to do the same with the white as well. So you can see I don't have very much, and I'm going to strip probably half of this out. You get rid of the short stuff and the really long, scraggly stuff. So it looks rather neat. And if you feel like you have too much, take it out. Take your time when you're doing this because it's a small pattern and you don't want an excessively large wing. Make sure it sits on top. And we trim off. Bring your thread to the back. Okay, now for the white. Again, don't take too much. Okay, make sure it's even on both sides. A couple of tight wraps just to keep things in place. One of the problems when you trim off materials like I'm doing right now, you can move the wing and just make sure it's in straight. Bring your thread to the back. And now for the last of the chartreuse. I feel that's a little bit too heavy still. I'll take a bit more off. There we go. Again, make sure even both sides. A couple of hard wraps to make sure everything stays in place. Trim off. And then we finish up. Okay, for some head cement. Okay, there's our Crappie Basher by George Will of British Columbia. I think it should be a great little fly for crappie. You might even want to do it a little smaller for panfish, a bit bigger for bass. That'd be a great little streamer. You can see that fox puffs up quite a lot, but I think this will slick down quite well once you start swinging it or stripping it through the water. And you get that nice chartreuse, white chartreuse effect. The original pattern shows painted on eyes. I haven't bothered with this particular fly, but if you want to, I would suggest making the head larger to give you more room to work and then paint on the eyes. But other than that, it's basically the pattern, and it looks like a Mickey Finn, doesn't it? Except different color scheme. Anyway, give it a try, the Crappie Basher. Cheers.